E-learning events and/or virtual masterclass do not constitute or imply Ariva's endorsement or recommendation of such opinion, process, service, item, or organization.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ariva Academy's free live webinar, Managing Talent in a Chaotic Vuca World. Vuca means volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. I'm Kate, and I'll be your host the whole morning, and I am very excited to learn with everyone. Now, before I introduce our speaker, I have a few reminders to make sure that our program will run smoothly the whole day. Ariva is committed to protecting your privacy, hence stricter security of this webinar has been implemented. So for better viewing of your Zoom experience, we encourage you to please update your Zoom application by visiting their website. And for those of you who are using their mobile gadgets to view this webinar, you can go to either the Google Play Store or the Apple Store so you can download and install the Zoom app. Now, I want to know who here is attending and joining an Ariva Academy webinar for the first time. If it's your first time, can you type hi in the chat box? Please type hi in the chat box so that we can acknowledge you. Wow, we have a lot of first timers. I'll try to catch up here in the chat box. Hi, Princess Aljan, Missy Janelle, Mylene, good morning. Marina, Leanne, Rovik, good morning. Emmeline, Myra, Mary Grace, Angelica, we have Ophelia, Margarita, magandang umaga also, Rosario, Mary Jean, Matthew, Madonna, Marie Ann, Roma. Wow, I think majority of our participants this morning are joining us for the first time. Welcome to Ariva Academy. We are very happy to have all of you here with us. Good morning, Adeline and Anna Lou. Maayong buntag, Ray Mabel. Hi, Pauline and Renato. Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I am sure we have participants joining us from Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao. So good morning, Philippines. Now, let us do an audio check. I want to make sure that once our speaker is on screen, you will be able to hear him clearly. So please type 111 in the chat box if you can hear me clearly. Type 222 if you can't hear anything, or 2121 if you can hear me but the sound that you're hearing is breaking up or it sounds laggy or choppy. Or you can also type question mark if you don't understand what is happening. Okay, I'm seeing 2121s but a lot of 111s. For those who are typing 2121, please ask help. If you're in the office, ask help from your tech guys there in the office to assist you with the audio of your gadget, so that once our speaker is doing his discussion, you'll be able to listen clearly. Okay, I'll move on. Later, we'll have a 5-minute break and we'll be announcing that. Now, participants' microphones will be temporarily disabled by our administrator during the discussion to avoid interruptions. But for those of you who might have questions, we'll allow the Q&A portion. During that time, you can click the raise hand button, and then that is where you can ask your questions directly to our speaker. Or you can also type your questions here in the chat box, and then we'll be reading them later. Now, e-certificates of attendance will be awarded to participants who will successfully complete the virtual masterclass, and they will be available 3 to 5 days after the e-learning session. Now, please help us build and improve our service with your comments and feedback. Uh, you can scan the QR code that is flashed here in front of you. That will bring you to the feedback form. At the end of our session, please fill out the form and then send it back to us. Once you send it back to us, that is proof that you have attended and that we will be sending you your certificate afterwards. Okay, so I think it's now time for me to introduce our speaker. I'm sure you're all excited to get to know him. Our speaker is a powerful, motivational speaker who keeps on top of PLDT's competency development programs and organization capability interventions. His spot on style in communicating his insights and engaging employees has paved the way to his numerous achievements as educator in the corporate academe. He was once appointed HR head of PLDT Global Corporation, an expert HR OD facilitator. He has been a keynote speaker in various HR summits and handled various organizational development programs for PLDT, its subsidiary companies, as well as its various prized clients. His hard-hitting but folksy candor has substantially helped team pursue positive behavioral changes that translates to tangible results in maximized productivity, business growth, operational efficiency, enriched customer experience, and heightened zeal for work commitment. He keeps team players inspired through spot on culture building programs and mind setting initiatives aligned with business transformation trust. He believes in how spirited team passion inspired by biblical truth can help us exceed our perceived limits. So, everyone, let's welcome our speaker, Mr. Nono Noriega. Good afternoon, Sir Nonong. I'm sorry, but we can't hear you.
Okay.
Oh, there. Now we can hear you. Hi, good afternoon, Sir Nonong. It has been such a long time.
Yes. Okay. So I'm honored to be here. So we owe them a good time, okay? Who says that learning cannot be fun, lively, interactive, even with this virtual realm? So is there a way that we can just unmute everyone at this point? I just want them to make some noise and greet each other. Hello, hi, take care, whatever.
Hello.
Hi, good
Yes.
morning, good morning.
Wadika.
Hello, good morning everyone. Hello,
Hi, hello.
hello ma'am.
Good
Okay,
morning.
that's the idea. Now we can go back to the mute mode. We can mute them again. Okay, nothing still substitutes face-to-face learning, but this is the next best thing. And the agenda today is very enriching because it's all about volatility, ambiguity, uncertainty, about pivoting. So where do we take the cue from, right? So we all want to be enlightened. Let's make a deal. We're leaving this virtual room more enlightened, more inspired, and more mobilized to perform our jobs better. Now, to be with me right now is my fellow facilitator. She will be manning the deck as I do the most of the presentation. Please give a warm welcome to Cristel Palma. Cristel, please signify if you're already on board. Cristel?
Yes, I'm on board. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. Happy Friday.
Wonderful. So let's now put on the deck so that we can begin our learning session. There we go. There we have it. So it says managing talent in a chaotic Vuca world. Okay, so we're going to bust the jargon from the Vuca acronym: volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. So marami tayong palaisipan here and now, okay? I think it's giving birth to a lot of questions right now, that this is the nature of the business environment right now. So even if there's predictive analytics, sometimes we miss the mark, sometimes we just hit the mark. So we have to just increase our threshold for anything ambiguous right now. Here we go. Now, some proposed agreements to ensure na magiging smooth sailing ang takbo ng ating learning session. Number one, be a sponge. What does a sponge do? It soaks in, it absorbs all the learnings that's going to take place here and now. Maraming dagdag dunong na magaganap. Maraming pulot aral sa isa't isa. So assume the attitude of the sponge. I'm not saying you will accept everything I'm going to say as gospel truth. Call the shots. Filter them with your own values, if you will. Sift through them. Call the shots, but don't discard everything. Meron at meron tayong magagamit. Number two, you are responsible for your own learning. Unlike in a live classroom setting, nababantayan natin ang behavior ko. Can we all mute? I hear noise from the background. Okay, there we have it. When we say you are responsible for your own learning, please take charge. Let's make this well worth the investment of time, resources, and talent. Sulitin po natin. Next, keep it interactive. Well, I always believed in the principle of entertainment. Edutainment. It has to be lively. It has to be engaging. Hindi tayo panay lectures. So when we engage you in interactive drills, we want to see high evidence of your participation. We dignify your inputs. So let this be our mutual learning adventure. We may have conducted this session 100 times, but in our book, no two classes are alike. So I'm sure this is going to be a very interesting encounter. And finally, be in the lookout for back home applications. What do we mean? At the end of the day, the most important thing, ano ba ang takeaway natin? Hindi ba? Ano ba ang pabaon natin? Equally critical is what happens post-conduct. Look for resonance. Look for the best back home applications. Now, if you're A-okay with the proposed agreements I've just discussed, can you signify that with an animated thumbs up sign? Okay, everyone? Can we see all your thumbs up signs? Can you adore your screens with thumbs up galore? There you have it. Very good. They're on the right track. Let's go to the next slide, Christelle. A thought-provoking primer. We start with the video, and I'd like you to fix your eyes on the screen because this will stir a lot of questions which we hope to answer in the thick of conduct. Here we go, Christelle. You may play the video now. Given that, I'd like to tease you with the first question. Isang palaisipang tanong. Now, at this point, we'd like everyone, okay, if we can request to unmute, and we'd like everyone just to read together what appears to be the question in front of your screen at the count of 5, 6, 7, 8. Sabay-sabay natin babasahin. Ready? Okay. Everyone, unmute. Go ahead. 5, 6, 7, 8. Read.
What do
Do
I
I
need
need
to
to
do
do
in
in
order
order
to
to
be
be
a
a
thriving
thriving
leader
leader
in
in
this
this
environment?
environment?
Okay, you can go back to the mute mode. So, noticed, I didn't use the word surviving leader. I used the word thriving. What's the problem, Nono, with surviving? Well, when we talk about surviving, sometimes it's the victim mentality. It's like bearing it through, trying to withstand everything, okay? Going through the motion, so I'm barely surviving. So more progressive will be a mindset that thrives. So in na in ngayon ang adversity quotient, hindi ba? We've played up on EQ, we've played up on SQ, on digital quotient, on customer experience quotient. But to tell you the truth, the most coveted of quotients nowadays would be adversity quotient. Kung kailan may crisis, dun humuhusay, dun gumagaling. But then, Coach Nonong, what will it take for us to excel and to thrive? We'd like to know. Here we go. Let's go to the next slide. Truth alerts. Ta-da-da-dan. In times of ambiguity, managers and supervisors are the greatest ally or obstacle for attaining the business goals. So you may be the enabling force that will level up the culture to a higher ground, but you can also be the hindering force, okay, that would stagnate progress. Now, what if Coach Nonong, amongst us leaders, we're also groping? Well, that's a truth alert. We're not looking for solutions yet at this point, but we're just stating the fact that you can either be an enabling or a hindering force to attaining our transformation goals. What's the next truth alert, Christelle? Can we flash? You are closest to the employees who must adapt to the new processes or systems and behaviors during these phases of volatility. Why? Para kayo nakasandwich eh. You take the cue from top management when it comes to directions, but you try to get the pulse also of the people from the ground level. So how good can life get? That is much too challenging. But what if you have personal issues as well? So where do I place myself in the whole, scheme of things? Nakasandwich ka, ikaw ang go-between agent, you're standing in the gap. So, what skill sets are necessary? I mean, we haven't learned this before in the light of the pandemic. So, seek to be more enlightened. We have another truth alert, Christelle. Getting managers and supervisors and all leaders for that matter on board in taking the lead, not being a passive spectator. But, di ba, ang sabi nga sa video, it's less scary when you're driving it. And you have to make your passengers feel secured and all right, that things will be fine. So there's no way that you can just be a passive spectator. As a leader, you have to play proactive in taking this lead. Let's go to the next, okay? Okay, now here are the big fives in the leadership imperatives when it comes to managing uncertainty. Here we go. Number one, effective communication. That is the mother of all team concerns. The lack of communication or the loss of communication can cause morale to hit floor level and can cause productivity to dwindle. Unfortunately, pag nag-audit ako for communications, ang babaw minsan ng mga responses. Pag nag-audit ako, ang sagot sa akin ng mga leaders, uy, Nonong, in-email ko na sa kanila. Nonong, nakapost na sa aming bulletin board. Oy, Nonong, may app na kami just to ensure that information is well disseminated. Well, these are commendable initiatives, but please realize communication is two-way. You just don't dump the information and assess, the situation and say, we've communicated already the message. Why? You have to manage reactions. When you communicated that message that needs to be communicated, were they enlightened o mas lalo ba silang naguluhan? Did they embrace it? Did they accept it? Or did they resist it? Pati ba naman yun, Coach Nonong? We are not psychologists. Well, such are the tall orders of today's leadership. You also have to manage the resistance. So when we say effective communications, it's not a to-do list of what mechanisms are in place. It's more on the human element of managing reactions. So do I make sense to you? I hope I do this far. Next, full and active executive support. Hindi tayo pwede, from the level of leaders na for your perusal, please handle, updates, sit and sign. No, we have to firm hand hold our associates. If you notice, I'm not saying the word staff. I say associates. I'm not even saying the word assistants. Why? Well, actually, I forbid everyone from referring to your staff as subordinates. That's a very traditional term. Pag subordinates, ano ang message? Assistant, utusan, slave. That's a stronger word. But when we say, thank you for concurring, Esther. Thank you, okay? I like that. But when you say associates, we are equal. I associate my ideas with yours, okay? We banter, we intermingle with insights. So that's what we mean when we say active executive support. We're all in this together. So anong uso ngayon? Playing coach. Hindi sit and sign. Hindi directing and ordering. You have to be ones amongst them. Next, employee involvement. Now, this is, thank you, Mary Grace, for agreeing. Okay, thank you. Now, when we say employee involvement, again, they have to be part of the vine. They have to be, inputs have to be solicited and dignified. So we cannot just say, okay, they will just comply with robotically. Yung robotic compliance gets very mundane, and we're not here really to breed a culture of order takers, especially with young people right now. I mean, they want to be involved in the process. They want their input solicited. So the thing is, we do not hire good people so that we can tell them what to do. We hire good people so they can tell us what to do. Personally, I like interfacing with young people. We take the cue when it comes to customer preferences, the market trends. You really have to be infected with young blood. Now, that belongs to another course on managing diversity and gunning for inclusiveness. But here's the thing, okay? We do not downplay the value of seasoned wisdom from seasoned veterans, but we have to marry that with the upbeat wisdom that comes from young people. So how good can life get if we collaborate? Next, organizational planning and analysis. We are forever rewriting the organization structure. If you notice in your respective companies, in a month's time, tanong ko sa inyo, open your inbox, ilang reorgs ang nababasa nyo, ilang reclassifications, ilang repurposing of roles ang nangyayari dyan. What's the point when we're managing chaos? The dust ain't gonna settle. The dust ain't gonna settle. If you're wishing for one day soon, Coach Nonong, I'll move when the dust settles from all this reorg. Now I can gain momentum. I'm sorry to tell you, the dust ain't gonna settle. That is the new norm. Kami, tayo sa HR, Aba, org fatigue na tayo, di ba? We keep on rewriting, reinventing, recrafting, retooling, repurposing. True. Sabi, you can relate, okay, Angelica and Evan. And widespread need for change, perceived need. If you have to flash the bat signal to raise some urgency. Kasi people are getting complacent, di ba? At minsan ang kulang sa ating mga companies, organization, wala talaga tayong consequence management for non-performance. Filipino culture, we're far too kind. Filipino culture, we look the other way. We tolerate, hindi ba? But you have to create that sense of urgency. We either pivot or perish. We cannot relax the standards there. So what I'm teaching you right now, okay, enthusiastic learners out there, hindi to gatas, ha? Hindi to gatas. This is hard meat. Sometimes you really have to chew on this. If something I say, noises, can we make sure everyone's on mute note, okay? If something I say in this virtual session will cause you to have insomnia tonight, I think I did a good job. I think I did a good job, okay? Why? We really have to challenge the status quo, and it's the age of disruption. In life right now, you're either the disruptor or you're the one being disrupted, which gives birth to a new competency. Ano yon? Disruption quotient. Diba? Anyway, nanganganak na, no? Let's go to the next. I'll engage you in the first Mentimeter. With regards to your respective organizations, dyan sa Big Five na sinabi ko, where are you doing well? Of course, if we look at the scorecard, okay, applause is due naman. In this pandemic, we're doing fine, okay? But you've got to select one. And we'll take the results seriously. See, we're learning also. These are inputs for me as a facilitator and a practitioner. So I'm going to request Christelle to engage you and see the responses. Go ahead, Christelle.
Okay, gladly, Coach. All right, happy learners. I want you guys to take out your smartphones, or if you're using a different device, you may just simply log on to www.menti.com. Just type that in your browser and key in the code 5091 4515. Again, 5091 4515. Okay, so let me go ahead and take you there so we can get started. Here we go.
Okay, let's read for the responses. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you doing well? Let's start with the good news muna. Okay, where are we doing?
Yes.
Oh, yun, ang dami na.
Okay, here we go. Ayan. So again, the code is 5091 4515. So I heard that there are hundreds of souls in the room right now. So glad to have you here. And we encourage each and every one of you to join in. Pahirapan natin ang Menti site. Let's crash it with your responses, di ba, Coach?
Yes.
Okay.
Show us evidence that you're engaged. Personally, I'm not going back to the whiteboard or the easel sheet. This should feel like second skin to us already. And ang mga bata, your kids, if you have children, this is the way they do things already.
Oh, yeah. And this batch seems to be quick on the tick because we are already gaining speed in terms of number of respondents. So far, we have 49, and I know you guys can do better than that. So if I can see like 100 plus here, that would be more than enough.
Yes, okay. We're growing the numbers. There you go. And it feels good when you see your vote posted.
That's right.
It's contributing to the increase of a column. So let's do initial analytics of what we see here. Christelle, do the honor.
Yes, so far on the lead is employee involvement, followed by effective communication, and not so far naman sa third place would be full and active executive support. And I'm sure that the results will vary because we're still waiting for a few more people to key in their responses. And we are up to more than 100 or over 100 respondents right now. Thank you guys. Ang galing nyo. Napaka-lively ng Ariva learners natin, ha?
Yes, because in other classes they need some prompting just to get engaged, but in this case, we're seeing the numbers grow. Yung mga hindi pasok, I don't know if you have connection problems. Wait for
Okay.
something went wrong with my screen. Okay, let me just adjust. Okay.
And so far, Coach, consistent ang ating results. It's still the top 3, with the top 1 being employee involvement, followed by effective communication and full active executive support rather. Okay, so I think they're off to a great start. Mukhang everyone is smooth sailing in their respective work spaces. Coach Nong, what can you say?
Wait first. I lost my screen. Okay, I have no access right now to you. There. Okay, it's back. Okay. All these pop-ups really that you have. Ay, nako, talaga volatile. High area, volatile. Okay, here we go. The good news is you're shining with employee involvement, and that's actually a tall order amongst many organizations, how to generate genuine involvement. So that's the good news. With the companies represented in this class, we're high on involvement, and they're kind of low on creating that urgency, that widespread. The code again is 50914515. But in the interest of pacing up, we will go to the next question, but you can still participate. Here's the next question, okay? Where are you challenged? But no, isn't it obvious the lowest score kanina will be the most challenged? Not necessarily. Sometimes you're excelling at the thing that you are most challenged in. So ang gusto ko tanungin, saan yung pain points? Saan yung pain points? Saan ang epicenter? Yan, uso lindol ngayon. Ako, spray, no? The big one doesn't hit us or tapos na yung big one. But what's the big one sa inyo? Okay? What's the big one? Saan ang challenge talaga? There you go. People are inputting their votes. Very good.
And we're seeing a entirely different result this time, no? Because taking the lead would be organizational planning and analysis, followed by widespread perceived need for change. And climbing alongside that would be full and active executive support. Okay, so you can see it's a complete opposite of the...
I surmise there's a lot of OD practitioners in the class.
Wow.
They do understand, okay, the burden that weighs heavy on OD to execute the transition with the least disequilibrium. So the high evidence would be organization and planning posting the highest. This may have come from the practitioners themselves. Okay, let's grow the numbers pa, okay?
Yeah, so far we have 119 respondents.
Okay. Honored to have Dr. Tessie Ong in the class, okay? It will be our mutual learning adventure. So, some are posting in the chat room, probably couldn't have access. So, James said communication. Thank you for making your presence felt. No, kung gustuhin maraming paraan. Kung ayaw maraming dahilan, hindi ka makapost sa vote, magpaparandam ka sa chat room. I think that's attitude. Thank you. We appreciate that. Okay, so ranking the highest in the interest of pacing up would be organizational planning. Totoo naman, you have to document kasi. Even if it's pivotal, you have to continuously document the org and put some structure. Kasi hindi naman pwede tayong loose cannon, di ba? Hit and miss tayo. Hindi naman pwedeng inouwido ang lahat. So, and organization planning puts the science into containing all these transitions. So, thank you for your inputs. We take them seriously. We digest that even after the class. And we try to establish amongst our sessions what's trending or what's just peculiar to a certain class. Okay, let's proceed. Thank you. Okay. Okay, here are our recommendations about the essentials of communication, saying that this is already an imperative in these turbulent times. Di ba, pag nasa eroplano tayo, when we say we're entering turbulence, fasten your seat belts, di ba? We get into these air packets and we feel a bit panicky. So let's face it, these are turbulent times. Ang dami nating air packet moments. Number one, communicate consistently, frequently through multiple channels. And today's technology is helping us utilize also many means of doing this. So every opportunity to communicate must be pursued, but never take for granted the value of face-to-face. Next, communicate all that is known about the changes as quickly as the info is available. Marami kasing orgs, no, because of data privacy and all these constraints, need to know basis hanggang dito lang. Well, okay lang yun kung pa-install. But if info is shareable and available, don't park it na. Don't park it na kasi ang mas masama, malalaman nila sa ibang source. At maging mongering and there goes the Marites and the Tolits. And the mongering na distort. Diba? Ngayon, hindi ko sinasabing hindi maganda ang mga Marites, ha? May useful ang mga Marites if you want to create buzz on your products. Meron din, may silbi. It has to be just redirected. No? One thing I miss in live.
Parang announcer na.
Okay, can you please mute? Okay, ang dami natin na minsan may nakakalimot mag-mute. Okay. We hear you. Let's proceed with the next. Provide enough time for people to ask questions. Kasi naman, meron tayong kinakawag na immediate reaction. Meron ding digested reaction. May mga iba, mumuni-muniin nila, i-filter nila, hindi mo talaga makukuha agad ang reaction. Diba? Stay on top of our insights and updates. Yes. Okay. Ariva is just posting something about their future in programs. Anyway, provide enough time for people to ask questions. Kasi di ba minsan may tatawag, you have to thaw the meat first. Minsan, hindi ka makakakuha ng reaction immediately. Probably it took them by surprise or they are shocked. But meron niyang digested reaction, which as a leader, you will need to unearth later on. And then the content of the message has to resonate and connect on some level with the receiver. So speak in their vernacular. Kasi iba ang speech music ng mga engineering, iba naman ang mga taga-sales, ibang vernacular niyan. Iba ang jargon ng operations at technology, iba naman tayong mga taga-HR. So sometimes we are not connecting simply because we are not adapting to the receiver's vernacular. But what if we are not content experts there? We'll just find common ground and find the resonance. You cannot just give them your shop talk, jargon talk, and assume that they will completely understand where you're coming from, hook, like, and sinker. Hindi naman. Next. Okay. Leaders need to listen. Anatomy is telling us a story. Why? This is the shape of my right ear. This is the shape of my left ear. Put them together. What do you have? A heart. So having a heart is akin to saying, okay, that you care and you listen. I'm very flattered when people say na, no, your faculty of trainers in a Cristel, they're excellent speakers. But I'll even be more honored when I hear people say they're even better listeners. 2 ears, 1 mouth, that talks already about the proportion of use. We have to hear them out. We have to play sounding board, right? So, and minsan may mga leaders listening fatigue. Di ba? But then you really have to be patient. People need to vent. People need to be heard out. And then communication should be proactive instead of reactive. That is self-explanatory. Wag mo nang hintayin make the first move. Then hold interactive workshop in which all employees can explore and change together. Why we germinate each other's ideas, di ba? I see where you don't, but most of the time, you also see where I don't. Di ba? Leaders, ang laki ng blind side natin. Nakikita natin macro, yung business shapers perspective, general directions. But sometimes the devil is in the details. You have to listen to the sounds of the forest. Oh, that's a leadership competency. So papakinggan namin yung mga marites. Yeah, importante yun. So sometimes may big disconnect because I'm seeing where you don't and they're seeing where we don't. So let's feed each other's blind side. And publicize rewards and recognition for positive approaches and accomplishments. You know what's great? To have a visual transformeter. When everything is very ambiguous and chaotic, if you have a visual scorecard like a transformeter, just to peg where are we in the journey and how are we scoring. So we can trumpet the gains, who's doing well, who's gaining ground, we can trumpet the gains, and we can cheer on those who need to be more, to do more. We can rally behind them. Okay? So guys, are you still okay? I hope I'm not facing a blank wall. There's need to provide outlets and opportunities. So these outlets, according to Dr. Tessie Ong, has to be made available. So our creativity is put to the test in creating these outlets and avenue. Thank you very much, Dr. Tessie, for contributing that. Appreciate that here. Next. The company must stress that all jobs be clearly defined but flexible. And sometimes you have to tell them, how is my individual job contributing to the big picture, to the bottom line impact? And when we talk of bottom line impact, I'll try to simplify it. We're talking of three things lang for any organization, pag bottom line impact. Number one, revenue generation or business growth. Number two, operational efficiency. Number three, customer experience. I'll say that again, okay? When we talk of bottom line impact, number one, revenue generation. Number two, or business growth. Number two, operational efficiency. Number three, customer experience. One last time, revenue gen or business growth, operational efficiency, and customer experience. Outside these three, you might be guilty of majoring in the minors. Outside these three, baka cosmetics lang. Okay? Outside these three, baka nice to have, pero hindi essentials. I challenge you, go through this exercise. Shift your initiative through these three lenses. And find out if we're really hitting the mark. Or are we missing the mark? Yan ang bottom line impact. So the company must test that all jobs, okay, be clearly aligned. Now, employees must understand the importance of their job to the overall environment. I just said that. And it will make them feel good. You know what's very pathetic? Yung trabaho ka ng trabaho, saan napupunta to? Diba? There's a lot of movement in a rocking chair, but it's just there. There's a lot of movement in a stationary bike, but you're not moving forward. But you're consuming a lot of energy. You can never equate activity with productivity. Now, when what matters least gets in the way of what matters most, productivity suffers. I'll say that again. When what matters least gets in the way of what matters most, productivity suffers. Then new managers must be trained on how to handle all facets of personal issues, especially the effective evaluation of employee performance. So visit your rating sheets right now. Dapat hindi na rater at ratee ang nakalagay dyan. Dapat coach and coachee. Why? A coach enables. Di ba? A coach enables. A coach programs the coachee to win. Luningning, thank you for finding resonance. I'm glad you find that meaningful, Luningning. You have to shepherd them through the process. So there will be personal issues. There will be many components of the event. And this doesn't happen once a year. This happens frequently, the dialogue. And you have to mutually agree on the goals that will be growth-inducing. Hindi yung sinubo mo lang yung goals. At minsan nakakalungkot sa mga performance appraisal performance, ay isang division pareho ang goals. Hindi. Kaya nga individual development plan yan. It has to be two goals, okay, are different. Maybe they're serving one general goal, but it's individual profiling of talents. Please take that seriously. It's a joy, actually, when you see them progressing. Next. True, sabi ni Farah. Oh, ito, next Mentimeter. During chaotic times, during volatile, uncertain, okay, you wear a hat. You wear a hat comfortably, or there's a hat that you really assume in the grand play of things. Take a look at this spread. Now, ang tanong ko, okay, sino ka dyan? Hindi ko tinatanong sino gusto mo maging, ha? Hindi to aspirational question. Pag nagkakainitan na ng talakayan, pag nagbabalitaktakan, or in managing a crisis sa opisina, this is the role you play sa trabaho. Kahit sa pamilya. Are you the gatekeeper? Diba? You sift the information, what's needed. Are you the facilitator, the go-between agent? You stand in the gap. Are you the priest, rabbi? O teka, let me correct. Ikaw yung moral compass. Importante yon, diba? Baka sige lang, sugod tayo ng sugod. Pero there should be ethical standards. Ito yung mga governance. Are you the historian? You're so data-driven with the past. You want that put to meaningful use. What worked then? What can we replicate many times over? And what do we need to avoid? Are you the information provider? Ito yung mga marites, pero in the good light, ha? Why? They're quick on the take. They know they're the grapevine people. And we need them. Are you the process observer? Hindi ka masyado sa content, pero nandito ka sa mga sequencing of tasks that need to be done, what leads to another, where's the build-up. Are you the devil's advocate? You see where others don't, so you post the challenge of what needs to be hurdled. Are you the visionary? Which means you are very aspirational and very compelling. Are you the standard setter? You want to put metrics in everything. You're hot on measurement. Are you the innovator creator? Yung what haven't we tried yet? What do we need to give birth to? It's about time. Are you the listener? Are you everyone's sounding board? Are you the consensus builder that you want to get inputs from everyone and weave that to a coherent whole? Are you the supporter? Just tell me what needs to be done and you have my A1 and top-notch and first-rate support. Are you the jokester? Uy, mahalaga din ito. Why? Okay, we need people to liven up when we're getting too serious. We need to go to the fun mode. So don't think this is silly and we have no place for people. When the burden gets too heavy, to lighten the discussion, yes, Adora, okay? When the burden gets too heavy, they have a way of easing the strain. Are you the taskmaster? Which means, okay, you know how to control the puppet strings of who does what and make things happen. And are you the party planner? Ano to? Party ng party? No, you're the cheerleader. You fuel motivation. And we need people to do that also. It cannot be all mundane. We need a cheerleader. Now, my question is, how many are they allowed to take, Christelle? How many?
Yes. For this activity, we have calibrated the Menti to allow 3 responses from each respondent.
Okay, so here's the question. Diyan sa spread of traits, name 3 that, meron na.
Wala pa, Coach, wala pa.
Okay, you give the code. Engage them, Christelle.
Certainly. So let me take you there. Okay, we're switching to a different page now. So think of all your traits, no? top 3 of your traits. Now, we allowed 3 traits to be encoded by each respondent so that hindi kayo malilito. Lahat ito meron ako I'm sure. I'm sure you all possess these qualities. But we, just to allow you to force rank your top 3. Now, the code for this would be a different one. That would be 6163069, and that is flashed at the top of your screen. Just simply log on once again or simply refresh your Menti page. So just click the refresh button and enter the fresh code of 6163069. So far I'm seeing 300 plus participants in Zoom right now. Oh my gosh, I'm so thrilled. And so far, the number of respondents are rising to 18. Yung iba, medyo mabagal tayo ngayon So yung iba, nag-force rank pa. Alin kaya ang top 3 ko dito?
Tatlo eh. And ako, I'll take the results seriously kasi Cristel, there are 320 plus participants. So I'm not sure if this could be established as a norm in the Filipino culture. So we will see where we have a surplus of and where we're lacking supply of.
I totally agree. And I'm seeing similarities from the countless of times that we have facilitated this very activity. And one thing is resonating. Coach, we have a lot of listeners wherever we go.
Okay.
Diba? Nakakatuwa,
May EQ ang Pinoy. May
yes.
EQ. Mataas ang EQ.
Kaya siguro we are considered as one of the happiest nations in the world because we know how to sympathize with each other. We listen to each other.
James, you're a facilitator just like me. I have to break bread with you, okay? Kasi it's a very challenging role, okay? Listener, Chona, you're a visionary. Wow, we need compelling people also to take the helm and to hold the baton. Dora is a listener, okay? They're making their presence felt na kung hindi sila makalagiin, no? Na nakakatuwa, no?
Yeah, so mukhang we're crashing Mentimeter server with all your responses. That's a happy problem. Anyway, let's take a look at the results, Coach. So again, on top, listener. This has always been one of our top responses, followed by supporter. Very good, okay? And the top 3 would be facilitator. Now, if you take a look at the lowest naman, that would be the experts with 5 responses, followed by consensus builder. Ayan, ito yung mga nasa bottom natin. And then with
para tayo nagti-training needs analysis, no? I'm also looking, Cristel, at where we scored lowest. And this could be input for Ariva. It could be input for Ariva on what new learning packages could they craft, no, for the participants kasi nagiging crying need yung consensus building. That's very critical. I remembered one time we were in a meeting, Cristel, and you told me the one facilitating the meeting was a very good consensus builder. And I said that this skill has eluded me. For some time, it has eluded me. I was playing facilitator all the time, but we need to build consensus, especially in conflict resolution.
That's right.
Then, hindi din tayo masyado tagal sa taas sa devil's advocate. We're generally agreeable people, no? Filipinos, no? And historian, okay? We need to be more data-driven. So, while we're trumpeting the good results on listening and supporters, we're raising the alarm level also on what skills are lacking and that we need to build on moving forward. So, I'm posing a challenge to Ariva. I mean, you're good at concocting these learning packages. Probably this could be in the offing because they're very timely competencies.
Coach, if I may, if you're looking at the commonalities of the bottom results, we're looking at, tignan mo devil's advocate, consensus building, taskmaster, and yung isa pa ay historian. So these, I think what they need to build is their assertiveness skills.
Yeah.
No? Yes.
Kasi kung wala yan, okay. Kung wala ding mga, the hard part that historian, okay, what's there really to support and listen? We could listen, but if there's nothing concrete really, to the organizers kindly provide, this is an admin thing, okay? Process observer. Okay, let's move in the interest of pacing up, okay? Yan ang challenge pag virtual. Kailangan upbeat tayo lagi, ha? I don't see the yawnings. I don't see the swirling heads and then the rolling eyes heavenward, but I hope you're all engaged. So ito, what advantages of having your strong traits in leading the change? Tell me. And what are the foreseen benefits if you improve on the weakest role that you identified in this Mentimeter drill as you lead change in your team? Next slide. Okay. As change agents, we have to be open with data. Right now, content is king. So data rules. And then you have to network like crazy everywhere, sideways, upward. And sometimes the challenge right now is managing up. Sometimes you will tell me it's easier to manage sideways and downwards, but sometimes we have to manage up as well. So network like crazy, take senior management along, and you'll be surprised that it will interest them, that they will feel valued and they will feel more enlightened. Kasi hindi pwedeng theoretical. I believe, kung gusto niyong pagandahin ang proseso dito in these chaotic times, okay, dignify the inputs that come from the people who are at the thick of the real service encounters, the ground level. Why? Well, put it this way, they are where rubber meets the road. Personally, hindi na ako naniniwala sa planning sessions na ang ini-involve lang yung top level, yung key decision makers. You know, I heard there's this one company. Well, I'm not allowed to mention the name, no? But I did an engagement with. Maniwala kayo, planning session kasama customer. Kasama customer. And that is high risk for some conservative cultures kasi it's like you're washing linen in front of the customer. But the CEO believed, let's not do anything that the customer doesn't care about. We don't want to be guilty about majoring in the minors. So that's the essence of involving senior manager and people from mid-management. That's a challenge I would like you to pioneer. Next, no fear. Hindi maganda yung management by fear. Right now, social media, everyone's daring, everyone's bold. Well, the biggest challenge is to sift genuine news from fake news. But it's very empowering, so we cannot manage by fear. Need to involve all concerned sectors. Yes, that's why it's cross-functional and collaborative. And then laugh when it hurts. When you miss the mark, when you make a blunder, don't define the moment. Don't cast the final verdict. Tell them that you're just as human as everyone and you will pick up from this mistake and move forward with wiser resolve. Diba? Remember, people learn more from their mistakes than from their successes. I'll say that again. Ang tao mas natututo sa kanyang pagkakamali kaysa sa kanyang tagumpay. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not encouraging a culture of mistakes. My point is, if you have to fail, fail progressively. Okay? Fail progressively. Then be a learning person yourself. Now, fellow leaders, this is the biggest challenge in teaching leadership now. I'll tell you, in this time ng pandemic. Please, okay, ang may pandinig ay makinig. Unlike before, when we teach about leadership, the leaders can point to a destination, can usher the followers to a destination they've been to. Right now, during the pandemic, who's been here? Who knows the destination? We're just as groping as each other. Why were you alive during the Spanish flu? Wala. So this calls for expedited learning side by side, leaders and associate. Dati it's so easy to point to a destination because I've been there. But who's been here in this pandemic? So you have to be a learning person yourself. Diba? Repeat after me. If you rest, you rust. Kahit nakamute kayo, say that to yourself. If you rest, you rust. If you rest, you rust. So don't you dare die in the vine. Be a learning person yourself. Okay? Thank you, Krisha. Next, know the business before you try to change anything. Sometimes, okay, we're so hot. Change for the sake of change. Hindi naman pwede. Suriing mabuti ang ating negosyo. Huwag magmarunong. Humility to listen and learn. You know, I like what Quincy Jones and Lionel Richie did when they were trying to record We Are the World for Haiti. Kasi ang problema nila, how do we manage this stellar personalities? Like there's Barbara Streisand, Celine Dion, Justin Bieber, Josh Groban, Jennifer Hudson. Alam mo ang ginawa nila? Pinaskill nila doon sa entrance ng studio. Leave your ego by the doorstep. Leave your ego by the doorstep. So when you, kasi Hodang Streisand ka, Jennifer Hudson, Josh Groban, when you enter the recording studio, we're doing this for Haiti. We're doing this for the earthquake victims. And many times, I'll tell you, many times when we enter the war room or the premises of our corporate world, you're so preoccupied with your certification, you're so preoccupied with your credentials, you're so consumed with your track record. Mahalaga yon. I'm not downplaying. You earned them eh. Okay lang yon, okay? But sometimes you have to assume the attitude of a student again. You are forever a student. And finally, finish what you start. Hindi pwedeng maraming mga projects you launch with a big bang and then it dies in a whimper. Diba? So finish strong. You may recraft the goals, you may recalibrate and reconfigure some of your KRAs, but you've got to finish what you start. Hindi tayo pwedeng Ninas Kugong at panay launch lang and then die in the whimper. And key to that, as Dr. Tessie Gong would say, is to sharpen our focus. Eyes on the ball. All hands on deck. Okay. Next.
Okay. Coach, before we move any further, I believe that we have a scheduled break, no? At 11 a.m.
Wow! Imagine ang bilis natin, no?
Yeah.
1 hour na. Pero I hope this far, people are learning and people are enlightened. Well, I got carried away, okay? I got carried away and then we're down to the final stage. I hope I can contain everything, ha? Because you're such an engaged class.
Oh,
so,
yes.
Okay, a break is in order. But before the break, I'd like a shout-out birthday greeting to J.M. Matienzo, the chairman of Ariva. Okay.
Wow, happy birthday.
Yes, I'm chiming in all my greets. Okay, let's chime in all our greets to this fantastic brother, a friend, leader, and very trailblazing in the way he has the track record of learning events and interventions that we all benefit from. So live well, Brother JM. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. So we will now turn the floor over back to our beautiful host. You may take it from here and we will see everybody again after 15 minutes.
Thank you so much, Chris. And thank you, Sir Nono. Maraming salamat. We will give your message to Sir JM. And yes, Sir JM, if ever you're watching, happy birthday. Thank you so much for everything. Ayan. There. So today is his birthday. Ayan. Okay, so now I'll be moving on with my announcements. One moment. Stay on top of our insights and updates. Stay connected with Ariva Academy. Join us on social media. You can join Ariva Academy's Facebook group. You can also like Ariva Academy's Facebook page. Follow Ariva Academy in LinkedIn and check out our website www.ariva.com.ph. And be part of the Ariva Academy Viber community. It's a growing community and a lot of exciting things are happening there. So join us there. You can scan the QR code so you can have access to our Viber community. And for those of you who might have missed the free live webinars that we had in the past 2 years, you can all catch them in YouTube. Ariva Academy YouTube channel, and Ariva Talks YouTube channel. Those are the channels that you can subscribe to. And I also would like to invite you to some of our upcoming learning events. On August 17, we have our productivity training development program, Managing Stress and Anxiety in New Hybrid Work Life. Another one is on August 18, Total Rewards, developing a pay and reward strategy. On August 24, we have the BIR computerized accounting system, BIR compliance for medium and large taxpayers. 5S plus safety steps towards workplace efficiency, effective records management, and ultimate guide to implementing 5S in the workplace. This will be on August 25 already. The 8 hitting targets through innovative collections and receivable strategies will be on August 31. And another free live webinar will happen next month, September 7. Our topic is strategic goal setting for long-term career success. Another interesting free live webinar for everyone, so register as early as now. Another one will happen on September 10. Again, it's another free live webinar. The topic is managing difficult people and dealing with conflict. So there you go, September 7 and September 10, 2 free live webinars happening next month. On September 14, we have our digital marketing and selling strategies to ramp up your sales. On the same day, AI and automation for HR and OD professionals. September 15, DOLE Department Order 183, Provisions and Compliance, revised rules on the administration and enforcement of labor laws. Again, this will be on September 15 already. And for those of you interested in inviting our speakers to conduct a program exclusive for your team or for your company, Ariva Academy can help you with that. We can help you with your in-house training needs. The number is here on screen right now and the email address. Send a message to us. Let us know what program you have in mind. Here are some of the programs that we offer, but we have a lot more than that. So just let us know and we'll help you partner with the right speaker under Ariva Academy Speakers Bureau for that. Okay, and now we have a special guest with us who'd like to share some good news for all of our friends here watching us. She has a successful 14-year experience in sales, marketing, and product management in information technology, international education, and HR and payroll solutions industry. She is the sales and marketing manager of Bridge Payday Solutions. So let's welcome Jacqueline Macusi.
Hi, Kate. Good morning.
Hi, Miss Jackie. Good morning.
Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, we can hear you, Miss Jackie.
It's nice to see you again, Kate. And on behalf of Bridge Payday Solutions, we would like to greet Sir JM a happy birthday. Okay. Well, thank you, Ariva Academy, for having us again this morning in your webinar. And let me just share my screen. All right.
There, we can see it.
You can see my screen. All right. Okay, let's start. So good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Jackie from Bridge Payday Solutions, and it is a pleasure to be able to speak to you on this webinar. And well, also personally listen from Coach Nonong earlier, although I'm not from the HR department, as what Kate has mentioned, I lead the sales and marketing team, but really the question that Coach Nonong imposed earlier, that what do we need to do in order to be a thriving leader in this VUCA world, made me thinking hard earlier, and I've been learning about those leadership imperatives that he has shared so far in managing uncertainty. Very well. Okay, so to quickly introduce to you our company. So we built Payday around a simple concept, and that is that everyone looks forward to payday. Yeah. So well, we realized that that this was true for the employees receiving their salary, but sadly, this is not exactly this this is not as exactly true as for those processing and funding the payroll. And sino po ba ito madalas? Mga HR, our friends from the HR department, tama po ba? So with payroll processing being one of your most time-consuming, detail-heavy task, especially if you're still doing manual processes, so there's always room to improve efficiency naman on this area. So, but however, when issues turn into noticeable patterns, so this may be a sign that it's now time for your company to make the switch from manual processing to managed payroll. And the first basic red flag to watch out for is repeated errors. Yan. When we do manual payroll processing, there is always a great risk pagdating po sa human error, especially kapag your company grows and expands, so you may experience consistent inaccuracies na in your payroll, even in timekeeping and attendance. And then the second one is unnecessary long lead times. Ayan. So yung Paul kanina ni Coach Nonong, no? So he asked us, where are we doing well? And the top answer is employee engagement. So we want to be able to help you guys to continue to focus and improve on that area po ng inyong tasks. And then the next question na naitanong sa atin earlier is, where are we most challenged naman? And the top answer is organizational planning and analysis. So again, we also want to be able to help you spend more time as you improve, as you focus on how can this challenge currently in your company turn into one of your strengths. So unnecessary long lead times, because you may still be doing manual payroll processing. So we want to be able to take this off from your hands so that you can spend more time in engaging in your other HR core processes, so that your overall productivity will improve. So how can we improve the process? How can you make the process more manageable? So these are some of the questions. How can you save time to complete every pay period? How can you reduce potential errors? How can you simplify your operations? And how can you encourage productivity of your employees so that they can also go beyond their typical duties in your workplace? So when you think of these concerns and objectives, improving payroll is really a good place to start. And from HR department, I'm pretty sure you're very well aware na po of what a payroll management system is. So I'm not gonna deal so much with this anymore. So if you're still doing in-house payroll processing, some of you may be using payroll software already. It could be on-premise or cloud-based solutions, and others may be outsourcing as well your processing to the experts when it comes to payroll processing. So at Bridge PD Solutions, we developed a fully outsourced payroll solution that combines the power of the technology and the expertise of our certified payroll partners to provide accurate, secure, and on-time payroll, so that this will require less work already from HR managers like yourself. So we claim that our managed payroll services work well with our customers. So some of our customers, well, we work with different companies from various industries such as Lazada, Carousel, CIMB, and these are what some of our clients say about us. So they really appreciate the end-to-end payroll solution that we service to them. So why partner with us? So we have the expertise and we're already serving different industries. We provide value add service by not just giving this payroll and timekeeping system, but also a managed solution that can help you put more time. Again, I want to emphasize on this, that can help you put more time and focus on other pressing concerns po sa ating companies. And especially, we provide reasonable fees and special rates for our partners, just like this. So we have a payday special offer of 10% subscription discount for 1 whole year. So normally we just give this for 1 or 2 months, but for this month of August, when you sign up, you get a discount for 1 whole year. And once you are a client and you refer companies to us, you'll also get a subscription discount of up to 10% when we successfully onboard the client that you referred. And if you're also a company dealing with smaller businesses, we also have a reseller program that we can offer to you. So you can find us in our social accounts, Facebook and Instagram at Bridge Payday. Thank you very much. Again, I'm Jackie Macusi from Bridge Payday Solutions. My email is jackie@bridgepayday.ph and my number is 0917-622-6005. You can also visit us at www.bridgepayday.ph. Thank you very much. Back to you, Kate.
Ariva Academy will
Thank you so much, Ms. Jackie, and thank you to Payday Solutions, our major sponsor for this free live webinar today. Thank you, and we'll see you again, Ms. Jackie. Now we have a lot to discuss this morning. We still have a lot to discuss this morning, so I'm giving the floor back to Sir Nono.
Okay.
By the way, I'm sorry, Sir Nonong. Just one more announcement. For those of you who are interested in asking questions or availing the services of Payday Solutions, we'll have a breakout room, so you guys can join that breakout room in a little while. Thank you. Okay, Sir Nonong.
Okay, welcome to the final stretch. You know, during the 15-minute break, Crystal and I met, we think we won't be able to cover everything. So we did some tight editing just to ensure that you get the best from the remaining minutes that we'll be together. So let's go back to the deck, Crystal, for the final stretch. We're hitting home run already. I don't see it in my screen. What do I press? How do I shift with the view? It's still in the gallery mode. Oh, there. Okay. So, Crystal, can we on board the deck? Did we lose Christelle?
Oh, let me just check. Yes, I think she's not in
Okay.
right now.
Mhm. Let me try to get in touch with her, please. Okay.
Okay, then.
Okay. Here we go. I'll be in mute mode first.
Might be having a technical problem. Okay, so we'll be back in a little while.
Okay, I believe Crystal is online.
Okay,
Okay.
so she's able to join again.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Crystal, can you flash the deck, please, Crystal? Mhm.
By the way, for those of you who are asking for the link for the feedback form, we'll be posting that here in the chat box. For those of you who are not able to scan the QR code, we'll post the link here in the chat box later. So you can just click that link. It will bring you to the feedback form. Fill that out and then send it back to us. There.
Crystal, please acknowledge if you're in the room.
Hi, Chris.
Yes, hi.
Oh, there,
Apologies.
she's
I just
back.
had to restart my computer for a bit because it conked out. But anyway, no, that's what happens on online setups like this. Anyway, let's get back to business. Here we go.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
Right. Hold on. Okay, it's here. Advanced. Where is it? Files. There you go. Okay, so it's just generating right now, but I hope that you were able to learn a lot from our previous speaker, the sponsor. So we're excited to get started again as I try to open the file. Hold on. Yeah, it's already here. Let me just go ahead and oops. Files.
Certainly, Amy, we will copy you the presentation. Are you referring to my presentation or the presentation of our speaker, the speaker before me? Okay, okay. We will copy Ariva.
Definitely.
We will copy Ariva. Thank you, Amy, for expressing your interest.
Okay, I hope you guys can see my screen. Hold on, let's just. All right. Just figuring this out. Hold on, guys. Apologies. Okay. If there's a tech guy in the room, I could really use your help because I keep pressing the share slide button. However, my files aren't showing here, so I couldn't present them. Is there anyone who could give me tips on what to do? My files are currently open and they're available to be shared. However, I just couldn't find them in the prompt where we can readily flash the file to Zoom or via Zoom.
Okay. Chris, Jeff from Ariva Academy will be sending you a message here in the chat box so that he can assist you. Our technical director can assist you.
Great. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay.
There.
I'm actually trying to share my screen. I did share it. Hold on, let me do that. There you go. Okay, can you guys see it?
Okay.
We're back. Okay.
Nice work. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so we'll pace up. Okay. Now, leadership is key to managing this VUCA environment. We talked about establishing a clear vision for the whole process, and that vision has to be cascaded. And then you have to appoint champions to own up, generate involvement, especially from the ground level people. And then sponsor portions of the initiatives yourselves, side by side, those who you've appointed to own up, to send the right message that you're a playing coach and that we're all in this together. Let's go to the next slide. Mhm. Now, solicit and act upon feedback. Now, class, I will introduce a new word for feedback. Listen up, okay? It's no longer merely feedback. The new word right now is feed forward. Feed forward, okay? Feed forward. So what is the difference? Pag feedback, minsan may nagsisisihan, may nasasaktan, may feeling bypassed, may feeling overlooked, di ba? Or not appreciated. It is something we need to learn to separate the rice from the grain. We're just using the information to move ahead. Quality lang, walang personalan. So what's my point? Depersonalized processes, personalized friendships. I'll say that again. Depersonalized processes, personalized friendships. Minsan kabaliktaran ang nangyayari. Nagiging personalized processes and depersonalized friendships. And that's when it gets quite too divisive. So leaders should be able to conduct very good feed forwarding sessions with your teams. And it's not rocket science. Sometimes it's a simple round robin of what's your high, what's your low. And then you can process these multiple realities and see, okay, what are the learnings that surface moving forward? Why? Life is a laboratory. So sometimes, aside from just sending them to the classroom to know the theories behind the lessons, sometimes, okay, it's reality training already in this age of reality contests, reality pageants, reality races, okay? Let's gun for reality training. Let's do very meaningful feed forwarding sessions, okay? Light bulb moment for all of us, okay? Next slide. Leaders must participate in the training that other organization members attend. Look at what's happening right now. We have esteemed the doctors in the class, and they're learning with us side by side. Now, recognize the human element of change, which I will discuss later on in a bit. Okay, here we go. Okay, this is it. Every time may pagbabago, every time volatile, we go to 4 different stages. The first is the denial. The second would be the protest. The third would be bargain. And finally, submit. Now, allow me to give you a morbid example just to hammer down the point. Okay? Morbid example lang ha. Pumubusina ako. For example, terminal disease. First stage, denial. Wala akong ganyang sakit, wala akong nararamdaman. Kahit anong pang sinabi ng doktor, I feel I'm okay. Okay. Next, protest. Why me? Bakit ako pa? Wala naman ako masamang ginagawa sa kapwa ko. Bakit ako dinapuan ng ganitong sakit? Victim mentality, right? Next, bargain. Lord, ang bata pa ng mga anak ko. I mean, hindi pa ako bayad sa mga loans ko. You know, could I buy more time? Not now. And finally, submit into your hands, thy will be done. Okay? You either become a victim of the change or a victor over the change. Now, Nonong, true, that was a morbid example. Can you give a more business-like example? Okay, and somewhere here, you're going to find yourself. First stage, denial. Talaga nag-reorg doon? Talaga nagbago ang performance standard? Aba, nag-adjust sila ng pay? Hindi pwede yan. Tagal ko na dito sa kumpanyang to. Kaya ko na to gawin na nakapikit. Next, protest. Bakit kami pa? Bakit ako pa? Mga iba dyan late pumasok. Yung mga iba dyan petix-petix lang pero ako ang dami kong responsibilities. It's not fair. Next, bargain. Okay, sir, ma'am, pwede ba tayong mag-usap? Okay, how is this going to grow my career? What about, okay, my deliverables, what's going to happen, how do we reconfigure? Next, okay, submit. and to your hands thy will be done. I either become a victim or a victor of the change. So we go through this. There are no shortcuts to submission. I'm telling you. Hindi totoo. Don't believe anyone who will say na a major change has happened, something volatile is going on, and then they just automate and say, accept, submit. No. Who knows what the Lord, at the risk of sounding preachy, who knows what the Lord is trying to teach us while we go through the denial, protest, and bargain stages. Sometimes this is where we learn the best lessons in character building and in our walk of faith. Now, here we go, Cristel. Next slide. Okay. Now, Mentimeter time. Wish ko lang versus sa totoo lang. Let's start with wish ko lang. Aspirational, di ba? Ito ang iyong wish list. And this will be free scribbling for all of us. Sporadic thoughts that would like to engage you in. How would you like to be managed as a talent? What is the best environment for you? What are the best conditions for you to really thrive? So it's like, what if, okay? What if ganito ang mentor ko, ganito ang environment ko, ganito ang support system that surrounds me? So we'd like to hear this from you. Sporadic thoughts. Cristel, could you engage them right now in this drill?
Okay. All right. Certainly. Let me go ahead and take you there. Okay. Hold on. So since I'm sharing my screen, I'll just exit and go to the other page. There you go. So for this activity, we will be keying in a different code, and just simply refresh your page again and enter 644093.5. Now for this Mentimeter activity, you can key in as many statements as you want, kahit long sentences. You can freely state your what ifs, your wish lists, your expectations. Ayan. Okay, so you may start entering your responses.
In this volatile world with times that are uncertain and chaotic and turbulent, di ba? And ambiguous, okay? What's the best support system that will enable you to thrive? What are the best conditions, the best coaching or mentoring style, or the right environment for you not just to survive, but to thrive and rise above and consider yourself a victor? Okay. So you can start scribbling right now. We'll see, okay? A penny for your thoughts. We want to pick on your brains. What's the best environment? What if it's like this? What if? So it's an open-ended thing. It's sort of a sentence completion drill. What if I speak my mind confidently? Okay, create the psychological space. That psychological space. You have to be in an environment, okay, that allows you to express freely. What if I can be a good leader, also a good follower? What benefits will I receive? So it works both ways, no? What if I am the CNO? So you conduct the puppet strings. Well, I like to focus mo sa good follower and good, ang leader nga ng McDo, ang manager ng McDo, naka-blazer, pero kung walang gagawa, siya magtatapon ng basura, hindi ba? Ang manager ng KFC, nakakurbata, pero kung walang gagawa siya, magmamap ng floor. So what are we saying right now, okay? Gone are the days when, it's a sit and sign behind your desk type of work. We see playing coaches everywhere. Could you read through the entries, Cristel, and let's react?
All right, so we're getting a flood of entries from you guys. The management is open to new ideas and changes. Okay, what if I decide to retire early? Would it do me any good? Okay.
Well, first also, okay, you owe it to the organization. To whom will you pass the baton? Because the problem nowadays would be succession planning. If you throw in the towel, did we care enough for the organization? Baka mapilay, baka abandon ship din, di ba? Ang mangyari. Of course, greener pastures are due you. And the next chapter is also due you. Even retired life can get very exciting too as well. Ang dami pa rin self-actualization needs na feed once one retires. But think also of the organization you're leaving. Baka it got too dependent on your expertise too.
That's right. Okay, some more responses. Everyone in an organization recognize the effort of their people, no matter how small it is. Okay, so this person seeks recognition and acknowledgement. Okay, what if someone mentored me rather? So this person is looking for a beacon. Ang ganda nga naman if you have a guiding light by your side, right? Okay, leaders complement each other's competencies. Again, recognition also and appreciation. What else? What if I have the right tama ba? What if I have the right and enough resources to be able to surpass challenges? Okay. So empowerment ang hinahanap ng person na ito. I can say and do what's inside my mind. Autonomy naman itong taong to. And lastly, what if I am the president of the state?
Okay. Inside, again, it's psychological space, safety. It's psychological safety. Marami tayo, when we keep things to ourselves, we don't bury these things dead. We bury them alive. And they will remain active inside us until expressed. So you should be in a culture that will allow you to express freely. Now, we don't want to be very irresponsible by, posing that questions. May kakambal yan. Okay, what if I and the upper management have a different perspective and our plan for the people, di ba? So it's like you fighting against City Hall. Okay, hindi aligned. No? Kaya minsan, that's what I tell top management also. We have our blind side. Let's listen. What are they seeing? What positive possibilities are they also seeing that we might marry our perspectives? I am the same person who is competitive enough that can go along with the colleagues. It's more of a declaration, okay? Your strength, okay? Good for you. What if the owners of the company include us senior associates in decision making? Well, it's the idea, really. That's why we're flattening the org, really, and decentralizing the power. It doesn't have always to be the center of power now. What if I was trained by an authoritarian parent? Will I now lead differently? Well, we are all products of our past. That's true. Diba? But we need not be prisoners of our past. That was the upbringing that you have gone through. It bears impact on the way you govern as a leader right now. You would have led differently, but we can still reinvent ourselves. Time is of the essence, I'll tell you. The clock is ticking, but I've seen seasoned veterans who shifted in their leadership styles, and they're still sponges. Okay, now, okay. Given the what if, we go to the next question, diba? The truth is. So kanina ang tinanong ko, okay, wish ko lang, no, di ba? Ginash ko yan dito sa totoo lang. Sa totoo lang, okay? Now, I'd like to state, this is a brave activity, the harsh realities that we as trainers, as facilitators, need to know as we diagnose organizations. I'm scared of rejection, very honest, okay? If only we can break bread together and share experiences, of course, especially when you're in sales. Pag nasa sales ka, ang indoctrination natin talaga, you should combat your fear of rejection because 7 out of 10 times rejected ka dun sa mga pine-present mo. I'm afraid to get out of my comfort zone. It's about time. They're very honest. They're very honest. It's about time you have to break free from the narrow confines of your comfort zone. But here's my guidance. While I will say, get out of your comfort zone, do not leave your gift zone. Stay within your gift zone because that's where you'll thrive. The management, the companies in general is still very traditional. Don't we all encounter that, okay? Even in progressive companies, there are segments that are still traditional. The management doesn't prioritize engagement activities. The truth is, I am Superman, okay? You are a tower of strength. Give yourself a pat on the back and replicate your strength.
Mm-mm.
Okay, you are responsible also for replicating. You have to infect others. It doesn't end with one mighty declaration, but it starts with that. Okay,
Mm-mm.
that's the essential first step. But you know, you have to replicate. If you are Superman, you have to create Supermen. A
Yes.
leader is not here to create followers. A leader is here to create more leaders. You are here to breed more leaders. And perish the thought that leadership is confined to titles. The new concept right now, leadership is everywhere in the workplace. You persuade someone with an idea, that's leadership. You manage a conflict, that's leadership. Not all leaders are patient and willing to listen to the real concerns of the associates. Ariva, let's come up with an intervention for leadership on listening and EQ. It is hard to deal with people with no integrity. Ay, that is the hardest to teach. Because talagang ang integrity, wala nga yan sa thesaurus na Tagalog eh. Hindi mo, malasakit pala, no? Malasakit.
Mm-mm.
But we're talking integrity, that's walking the talk. That's character building already. And sometimes, my dear learners, that's better caught than taught. That's better influenced. That's better caught than taught. Okay, Christelle, would you like to read some of the other entries and comment?
Certainly, Coach. No, my heart goes out to this person who sent this in. The truth is, I need someone to mentor me, and I don't know where to start. Ang taas ng will nito. This person just needs someone to guide him or guide them. Leaders only act when employees leave. Ayan, medyo reactive ang organization. So, kailangan mayroong initiative and anticipatory action ng organization. People are quite resistant to change. The truth is, we don't have much benefits in our company. No? Sometimes you want to be rewarded, no, to be motivated. Not all leaders are patient. Nabasa na. It's hard to deal with people with no integrity. Okay, this is kind of heavy, but this can definitely be arrested kung meron lang tayong proper channels, no, siguro kung talagang magre-reach out ang HR and do something about this. The truth is, I am introverted. I am an introverted person.
A comment on that, no? Actually, the virtual realm is favoring the introverted people. There are many introverted people shining right now through this medium, this hybrid. Mga geeks, introvert yan. And actually, we want to hire geeks. Would you believe we have, in our company, we have the Geek Olympics? These are introverts who are very brilliant. And you know how do we reward them if they come up with a good project born out of their introverted, brilliant ideas? We send them to Silicon Valley. Okay, here's something to inspire you. Christelle is an introvert way back then. But look at how she presents with aplomb right now. That is not a dead end, my dear friend. The two of you or the three of you, that is definitely not a dead end. Sometimes the most fertile think tanks come from the introverted people. Okay? Now, I'm not downplaying the value of extroverts. We need your social skills. All you party animals there. No? We need you there. But sometimes there's so much brilliance in an introspective mind.
Yes.
So
just to share with everyone, yes, that's true. I am still an introvert. And actually, you know, one of my banner projects or banner courses that I facilitate in PLDT is business presentation skills. So imagine, paano kaya magiging facilitator ng isang ganyang klaseng of customer-facing na project ng isang introverted person na katulad ko. You just have to learn to manage it. No, there are so many ways on how you can.
My heart goes out for you. My heart goes out for you, even for the one who wants to get out of the comfort zone. My heart goes out for you because I counsel so many people who are very brilliant, who are stuck within the confines of their comfort zone. Okay. Okay, in the interest of pacing up, we might get carried away, Christelle. It's 11:43. Naku, masyadong.
Oh no.
Oh, how do we fit in everything? At may Q&A pa, okay? Can we go to the next slide? Ito, let's do the banter ng mabilis. Yan. Okay, yan. Gawin na natin ito mabilis. I read the red part, which is the victim mentality. Chris will sopla me with the blue part, which is the victor kind of mindset. Okay, let's go. Okay, from victim to victor. Okay, from why to?
What new opportunities will this provide?
Okay, from how will this affect me, this chaos, to?
What problems will this solve?
Because I'll tell you, mga kapatid, okay? Bad news is the only impetus for meaningful transformation. You do not transform with good news. I'll say that again. Bad news is the only impetus for transformation. So, in this pandemic, many times we saw the best of performance in the worst of times. Marami tayong nakitang ganyan. The best of performance in the worst of times. Slide. Victim to victor from, okay? We didn't do it this way before this chaos to
What would it look like?
from. When will this be over so we can all get back to work to?
What can I do to help?
We are talking solutions na, di ba? Mas victor. And from, who's doing this to us? To?
Who can help us?
Or you're networking like crazy na. Lumalabas ka na sa comfort zone mo, right? Next, okay? Okay. Okay, chat room. Nasaan ka? From victim to victor right now. Nang nangyari ang pandemic, ang volatility, ang uncertainty, at ang chaos environment. Where do you find yourself right now from that 1 to 10? I'm sure yung nagsulat ng I am Superman 10. Okay, but 8. Okay, 7. Good enough. 9. Okay, 10. Oh, conquerors 5.
Nice.
8, okay, 7. Okay. Oh, kita mo? 6. Oh, that's very healthy. 8. Okay. Okay, wonderful. 5. I-average ko yan parang nasa 7. Pero yung mga 5 nasa borderline kayo. Okay? It's okay. It's okay. We're in different
You're evolving. You're evolving.
Oh, walang tamang maling sagot dyan. It's more of where do you find yourselves di ba? 6. Okay. Very good. That's a moment of introspection. Next. Okay. Let's skip this, okay, in the presentation. Okay. Now, profile yourselves when it comes to transformation. Are you a pivot agent? When you say an agent, okay, you get assigned a project, and then you want to focus on that, and then you're gonna work on that. If you're a pivot champion naman, okay, you like to be the one assigning the tasks, no, and making things happen, pushing the right buttons with people controlling the puppet strings. If you're an advocate naman, di ba, when you say advocacy ko to, naku, nasa puso ko to. Nasa puso ko tong change project na to, di ba? Like some people are plantito, some people are fur babies, some people champion human rights. So are you more of an advocate when it comes to the change that's happening? This is talaga nasa puso mo to. You obsess over this. Are you more of a crusader? When we say crusader, you like to do the rounds, you like to communicate, you're the mouthpiece, you're the one who trumpets the need to change in the thick of chaos? Or are you more of an evangelist? You are showing people the value of the change, the imperative for change, okay? You're talking about, you know, the moral compass involved really in this change, okay? Go to the Mentimeter. Let's see. Let's profile the class, Cristel. Saan kayo dyan?
Okay, so let me take you there, ha? Hold on. All right, so think about your role. Reflect.
Okay. The champion likes to delegate. The agent naman wants to work on a certain project. The crusader wants to move around. Okay. The advocacy, he takes it to heart. He obsesses. And the evangelist, okay, sounds the alarm. Okay. The strong one.
There you go. Yeah. Okay, so refresh now your Mentimeter page and enter this fresh code 29411348. Again, 29411348.
Okay. I got a comment here that managers need to perform all. Yes, they do. Okay. Pero your area of giftedness, that's what we want to see.
Where do you excel at the most?
Meaningful sa'yo. Meaningful sa'yo. It matters. It matters kasi you have to be placed in somewhere that's meaningful to you. Okay. Oh, may mga kapareho akong evangelist. Hi, they need to sound the alarm. We have agents. We had advocacy. At least sa puso, di ba? Okay, 47 of you, 49. The numbers are growing. You're very quick right now. Okay, first class ko na advocates ang pinakamataas. Oo. Advocates ang pinakataas. I think this is good news. This is a happy spread. While kasi more important than the mindset is the heart set.
Yeah.
Yes. Mindset is way important.
The
But,
passion is there,
oo.
definitely.
I mean, losing direction is tragic, but losing passion is fatal.
Yes.
Diba? Okay, let's move forward because it's 11:50 na yata and my dial now. Okay. At this point, I'll ask Cristel to sing a song, okay? And kala nyo lang pop song na to, pero may hidden wealth ang lyrics ng kanta na to. They talk about uncertain times and how we deal with them. Cristel, please engage us, okay?
Okay. Coach, shall I do the whole song or just half of it?
Nagbabargain ka pa? Whole song? Okay.
Okay. So guys, if you know the song, you may sing it along with me kahit naka-mute kayo. Okay. I've spent half my life looking for the reasons things must change, and half my life trying to make them stay the same. The love would fade like summer into fall. All that I could see was a mystery. It made no sense at all. The will of the wind, you feel it and then it'll pass you blowing steady. It comes and it goes, and God only knows. You must keep your sails on ready, so when it begins, get all that you can. You must befriend the will of the wind. I've spent so many hours thinking about the way things might have been, and so many hours trying to bring the good times back again. And so it goes for lonely-hearted fools. They let their days slip away until they give in to sabay-sabay the will of the wind. You feel it and then it'll pass you blowing steady. It comes and it goes, and God only knows. You must keep your sails on ready, so when it begins, get all that you can. You must befriend the will of the wind.
Wow, I miss hearing the live play.
Salamat sa suporta, guys.
Suporta ng Ariva. Salamat. Okay, so I was saying, akala nyo dati, love song lang yon? Hindi. May hidden wealth yung lyrics. So they talk about the 3 C's in life, the 3 C's. Chances, choices, changes. Diba? Chances. Do we maximize the chances when they come their way? Do we seize the moment? Do we make most of the opportunity? Do we milk that to good measure? Then choices. Kanina, may nag-flash. What if I retire? Well, you eventually march to your own drums. Diba? Make that call. Panindigan mo. Because life is full of crossroads. Ang buhay natin punong-puno ng sagnandaan. This path or that path. Especially during chaos. And finally, changes. Do we take charge of change or is change taking charge of us? So, Cristel, I'm seeing a flood of glowing reviews here about the way you sang it, the way your voice. So, I believe you're also in teaching by song and film. That's why I had to inject this. Okay, we're hitting home run now with the final slides. No? In-abbreviate ko to kasi I got carried away. At may nag-post na ang saya ng klaseng to. That's the idea. Di ba I told you we owe you a good time? So we want this really to be a Friday morning well spent. Okay, next slide. Two kinds of change. The first kind is evolutionary. It's gradual, cyclical, predictable, and regulated, like fashion, musical taste. Everything old is new again. But the more rampant kind of change right now is the second, not the evolutionary, but the revolutionary change. It's radical. It's quick, unpredictable, and strong impact, di ba? So digital transformation was revolutionary, di ba? The pandemic was revolutionary, ultra revolutionary. You know, the digital transformation that was forecast to happen in 4 years happened in 8 months, na expedite. What was once aspirational for telco leaders began to unfold before our very own eyes in 8 months. So ano nangyari? Expedited learning tayo lahat. Natuto tayong mag-webinar, natuto tayong mag-Zoom, natuto tayong mag-Mentimeter, mag-Kahoots, di ba? And we had to be quick on the take. Now, don't confine digital to age. No, digital is a lifestyle. Ang daming mga digital lolos at lolas ngayon. Baka akala nyo na ang galing-galing sa social media at sa auto payment. And you know what's the term for them? Millennials. They are the celebrated millennials. So we have the screen agers, the young ones, but right now, this new breed is surfacing. The millennials. Is your lola a millennial? Is your mama a millennial? Who knows, di ba? So at first, they feel intimidated, but when they get the hand of it, they're very good. So you can confine technology with age, but digital is a lifestyle. Next. Okay, productivity therefore is an attitude of mind during turbulent times, during during chaotic times. It's based that one can do things better today, even in a crisis, than yesterday, and better tomorrow than today. O ako naman ang kakanta, konti lang kakantahin ko ha. Alam mo yung kanta na, I love you more today than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow. O, di ba? So, you challenge the status quo. Di ba? Mas dinaig, okay, nung today yung yesterday. Gusto niyong Tagalog? O pwede din. Bawat kahapon ay daig nitong bawat ngayon, nadaig ng bawat bukas. Okay, dinaig nung pangkasalukuyan ang kahapon, pero dadaigin ng bukas ang pangkasalukuyan. So, the race to excellence has no finish line. So that's teaching by song again, ha? One day, if I engage with Ariva, we will teach by film. Okay. Next. Okay. I think we don't have time for that finale video, but probably we'll see each other in another session. But I did enjoy. Before we call this a memory, I really want to thank you for engaging us. The honor of serving you by way of running this session virtually. I think we'll all agree that we're leaving this virtual room more inspired, more enlightened, probably more disturbed, no, with the harsh realities that we came across, but more mobilized to perform our jobs better. So if we have time for Q&A, I would welcome that. Otherwise, okay, we really want to thank you. This is Coach Nonong and Cristel signing off. Back to you, Kate.
Thank you so much, Chris and Coach Nonong. Maraming salamat. I think we have room for at least 2 questions from our participants. So, for anyone who would like to ask a question, you may type it here in the chat box or click the raise hand button so we can allow you to ask your question directly to our speaker. Anyone who would like to ask a question? Let me see.
I think
Okay.
Dr. Tessie Ong raised her hand.
Oh, yes, Dr. Tessie. Is it okay if you turn on your video also so we can see you? There.
Okay. Do I have the floor now?
Yes, Dr. Tessie.
Okay, thank you so much, Pam and Sir Jess. And of course to Chris. You're very great, all of you. Okay, I admire you. Okay, you're Your expressions are all very appreciative.
Thank
Okay.
you.
My question, sir, is this. First, let me congratulate you because you are so great in your sharing. So much learning for all of us. Really very enlightening. Now, my question, sir, is this. Okay. Now, how would you convince managers who feel that they would like, okay, to project bossy personality, okay, they do not like to be dictated upon, okay, to apply what you have, okay, shared with us by being listeners and all of those concepts that we learn that managers, okay, should really perform. You know, there are managers who just do not like to be dictated upon. Okay, they do not listen. So how would you convince them? What
Yeah.
is the best strategy to convince those managers like what I have described? Thank you. Okay,
Thank
God
you.
bless.
First, I would like to thank Dr. Tessie Ong. You've been very engaged all throughout, okay? The affirmations you post during the thick of conduct were very encouraging. Now, to your question, that is a big challenge. Sad to say, there are managers, there are leaders right now who still manage by fear and who even play macho games with the associates, right? And they refuse to be sponges by being open to feedback. But I believe we have to start with the environment. The environment should make them yearn for the change, for the shift of style. There is a saying, you cannot drag the horse to the pond and make it drink, but you can make the horse thirst. I'll say that again. You cannot drag the horse to the pond and make it drink, but you can make the horse thirst. Because sometimes it's pride, it's stubbornness. But if they see we're bandwagoning on a new practice, we have enough advocates and champions, silang mahuhuli sa biyahe. Sila ang matatakam kailangan, okay? Now, sometimes I have to shift. And another, if you want something more concrete, a good feedback mechanism should be in place in many organizations. And it's very challenging, the 360-degree leadership. I mean, we leaders, we keep on rating our people, right? And their performance. We should subject ourselves also to be rated by our people and what we are doing well and what we are not doing well. Now, if they refuse, they're in the losing end. I'll say this frankly, okay? Because it's not a growth mindset for them. They will be stuck. And eventually, the organization will be losing people because that is not the way to manage young talents. Young talent, I'll tell you, doctor, okay? People don't leave jobs. They leave bosses. Oh, that's true. People don't leave jobs. They leave bosses. Pag ine-exit interview niyo po yan, okay? Anong sasabihin yan? Gusto ko naman yung trabaho ko eh. Gusto ko naman yung mga kasama ko eh. Pero hindi ko na talaga kaya masikmura tong boss ko. Di ba? So, the organization will eventually suffer. And I've seen that happen firsthand, doctor. I've seen that happen. So I know I share in your frustration when they're not open to feedback, you know, but what we all can do is create that environment and later on do a consequence management from that kind of leadership. We are losing people, so they should warrant a good feedback mechanism in place. Okay. Thank you. I haven't answered it really in a very direct and prescriptive way, but I may have suggested ways and means to address it. I hope so. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach, and thank you so much, Dr. Tessie. I read something very beautiful here in the chat box. It's his key takeaway. The hitting and motivating takeaway mantra is: if you rest, you rust.
Yeah.
Yes. That really made an impact, even to me, Coach Nono. So thank
Thank
you
you,
so much
Kate. Thank
for
you,
that.
Kate. I like that, Kate.
Yes, thank you so much. I am not seeing any other questions here in the chat box, but the questions that I saw are about the feedback form. We'll be posting a link for the feedback form again here in the chat box. So please click the link and it will bring you to the feedback form. Fill out the form and then send it back to us. There you go, it's there already. And then after receiving your feedback form, wait for a few days and then you'll be receiving your e-certificate. There you go. Oh, I think because this is a rescheduled date, yes, you can move on with the August 5 date. You can use that in filling out the form. There you go. Okay, so now it's time for us to award the certificate of appreciation to our speaker. Let me just read this. Ariva Academy, learning development at its finest, gratefully presents the Certificate of Appreciation to Jesus Gregorio F. Noriega III for generously sharing his professional expertise, invaluable knowledge, and wisdom to the delegates of Managing Talent in a Chaotic Vuca World, held on August 12, 2022 via Zoom platform. Signed by the birthday boy, chairman and chief strategist, learning event producer J.M. Matienzo, and the president and chief learning and development strategist, Michelle Irish Malonda Samson. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our speaker, Coach Nono. Thank you so much for always saying yes to our invitation, and yes, for always disturbing the participants listening to you. Maraming salamat po, Coach. And thank you also, Chris.
Yes.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, guys. I had a great time. Thank you so much.
And thank you,
Yes.
Kate, also for your superb handling of the program.
That's right. Thank you.
You are
so
very
much.
much welcome. Now let's do a group photo with all of our participants. So I would like to invite everyone to please turn on their cameras. Join us in this group photo. There. For those of you who are able to turn on their cameras, yeah, sige. We'll be waiting for you. We will be assisted by our technical director, Jeff.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Kate. Okay, guys, please enable your camera before we start for the group picture. Okay, let's wait for the others. Come on, guys. Minsan lang po tayo makapagpa-pictures sa speakers natin. Okay, let's wait. Okay, may habol pa po ba? Okay, guys, get ready po. We have 2 shots for this webinar po. Okay, get ready. Show me your beautiful smiles. And 3, 2, 1, smile. Okay, one more this time. Let's do hand hearts.
Hand hearts.
Show me some
Like
love.
this.
Yeah. Okay, get ready. And 3, 2, 1, smile. Thank you. Back to you, Ms. Kate.
Thank you so much, Jeff. By the way, for all of our participants who are asking about the copy, as I mentioned a while ago, this will be uploaded in our YouTube accounts. So subscribe to our YouTube channels so you can still watch. You can again watch the whole webinar. Okay, and we still have the breakout room for those of you who are interested in asking questions or inquiring about payday solutions. Join Miss Jackie in the breakout room. All you have to do is click the join button so you can join her in that room. Okay, so in behalf of everyone from Ariva Academy, we'd like to say thank you so much for being with us on this fabulous and fantastic Friday morning. We're looking forward to welcoming you again in our future learning events. Thank you, everyone. Happy weekend. Let's all keep safe. God bless you all.